Now we're recording. And while you're writing that down, I'll just go back one for Max is not here. Pause it on these so they can get the notes. Here we go. As normal over the regatta, I saw alumni. Ned Booth is taking chemistry in university. I asked him if he felt prepared after taking chemistry 11 and 12 here. I taught him. He was like, yep, he's doing actually really well. He was someone who struggled a bit, but in university, he did the normal, oh my God, the workload is so high and they don't care, and all the stuff we say to scare you, which is normal, but he's doing well. He felt prepared. I asked him what the most important parts, in addition to doing your homework and all those things. One thing that he felt Brentwood really prepared him with is knowing how to talk to people and get study help and work together. And that hasn't changed. I remember a student coming back and they were freaked out because they were pretty sure they were the only person failing their class. And so they just put up a notice saying, study group, meet at this room at this time. And then nearly the entire class showed up. Everybody thought they were failing and thought they were the only ones that were failing. And then he said that worked out really well because then they all broke off into study groups and started studying. So he's doing relatively well. He said this prepared you, but don't be afraid to talk to people. Was his main advice for surviving chemistry in university if you're choosing to take it. That's probably useful for more than one course. For this one, Lavina, finish that off.
I am minus H3 plus.
Perfect. Make that a proper 3. And then the Ka would equal Niha. And she disappeared. Okay, I'll get her on the way back. Tio.
I am minus times HPO plus over HI.
Anybody notice anything missing?
H2.
Why don't we include it?
Because it's
Because it's liquid. Excellent. So just as a reminder. Now, at the transition point is which of the indicators halfway through its color change. Is there anything we can say about the concentration of the species at the transition point? Let's say it's at the beginning and you have 0.1 moles of that and basically 0 of that. And then you start moving it over and you have 0.05. Well, this is 0.1, so let's make it 0.09. And this is 0.01. It's not halfway there. This is now the transition point. This is at 0.8. This is at 0.2. What will the numbers be at the transition point? 0.05. Both of them will be the same, so it doesn't matter where you start. At the transition point, the concentration of our base form is going to equal the concentration of our acid form. They're going to be the same. What can we do with numbers that are the same in a formula? Somebody say square. Oh, you can square them if they're both on top. What can you do if they're both on the same? What can you do if they're over top of each other? cancel them. So we can just go boom, boom. So the Ka is equal to the concentration or the pH at the transition point. As well, we would say the pKa is equal to the pH. At the transition point. Is everybody okay with pKa? What does pKa mean? Negative log of Ka. You want to pull out your data table and just go to here. I think this is an incomplete. I'm missing a few on the top. Does it just move? Nope, I literally didn't put it on properly. If we have chlorophenol red, don't pull them up. Let's say chlorophenol red. What's the pH of the transition point? It's giving you a range. What's dead in the middle?
6.
Exactly 6? Yeah. So if that is the pH of the transition point, what's its Ka?
6.
Well, the pKa would equal then 6, and then the Ka would equal 1 million? You're close. 1 million is really big.
1 times 10 to the negative 6.
Yeah. 1 millionth.
Oh my god.
No, you should go into astronomy. Factors of scale, they don't even really care that much because the numbers they're working with are so big. So you can get, even though this, we don't have these on our Ka table of our acids, you can get the Ka from all of these just by getting the pH of the middle and then converting that into, knowing that it's pKa and then converting that into the Ka. So all of these have a Ka, and that is also the concentration it will be. So you can figure out, if you already know their Ka, you can figure out where the color change is going to be. I also put on here, so you have it in your notes, because I don't know, it's one of the things I think I should add to the data table, but I forgot to this year. We should have that. This is, now there are other, so this is universal indicator. There are universal indicators that don't have this exact color pattern. There's a couple formulations, but this is the most common that you'll see at here or university. And this is the one we definitely use in the lab. So if you have a color and you can pick that color out of the lineup, you know what the pH is. And all they do is they take a bunch of these and they just mix it together. And then you get a color change all the way through. Because you can only get at most from a monoprotic indicator, you can only get 3 colors. Far end, the other end, and then whatever the middle. What does blue and yellow make? Color theory. Anybody paint? Does it really? Oh. I guess maybe these are. I always wondered how they got green in here because there's no green in there. But I failed color theory in school, so I came in grade 2. Didn't know what was going on. And confused my teacher. So, last 2.
You can't touch this. You can't touch it.
You're welcome. Endpoint and equivalence point are similar definitions. The point of the titration where the color of the indicator changes. And the equivalence point is the stoichiometric point, the point of the titration where the stoichiometry of the reaction is satisfied. All of these, transition point, endpoint, and equivalence point, should be the same point for a titration. However, due to the unique nature of a titration curve, it may not be. Because you can get away with using a indicator that's not dead in the middle. Once we do titration curves, I'll show you that, or probably show you that on the next page. The endpoint specifically refers to the color change, and the equivalence point specifically refers to the stoichiometry. They may be different, they may be wildly different if it's a really bad titration, you've picked a really bad indicator. But ideally they should be the same. So if you're doing a problem and you see endpoint, equivalence point, or transition point being used, they're used almost interchangeably. Also, that's my writing as a font. I thought it was impressive. Way back when, Windows came out with a computer that was amazing. They had this brand new idea, and they called it a tablet, and you could write on it. And one of the free programs they put on it was that you could take your writing and just write, and it would just turn it into a font. I also somewhere have Mr. Collis's writing as a font. Good. All the definitions down. Okay. Why do we care about those definitions? I'm going to go back to here, and I'll give you a reaction to think about with this. Let's say we are reacting. Give me a regular. Neha, your name was called while you're gone, so you're up next. I'm going to ask you for your favorite weak acid, but please don't give me a weird one. HSO4, excellent. I like you gave me the weirdest one that qualifies as a non-weird one. Because it looks amphiprotic, but it's not, so it can only be an acid. So that works out well. I'm going to react it with NaOH. They're going to ask for the products. Where is... Now, If I'm reacting it with NaOH, what's the spectator ion? Na. So we can just get rid of that. What are our products going to be? Taz,
Sorry?
what are our products going to be?
Wait, what does that say?
Enlighten me.
Which one's the acid?
Which was the acid?
Yeah.
HSO.
Right. So what do acids do?
They give off
They go. So what's left after you give off
SO4.
SO4 charge?
Neutral.
No.
Or wait, negative.
Negative. Yeah, you go an extra negative. And then when you take that H and you react it with the OH, you get H2O. Excellent. So we have a weak acid. Now this is our last unit that we just did. Weak acid plus strong base. What do we get? Yep.
The charges like there's one negative on the left and
That's because I got rid of sodium. Because I got rid of the sodium, that's -1. Feel better? Because you're right. It did. What is this? Weak acid, weak base, neutral, spectator ion. Weak base. So a weak acid plus a strong base gives us a weak base and, something neutral, water. Amphiprotic is not going to affect the pH. So if we react completely, stoichiometrically react all of this acid with all of this base and there's nothing left over, what will the pH of the solution be? Very roughly. 7, not 7. Hmm? 7? Why 7? What part of it makes it neutral? This is neutral? Is this neutral? No, not neutral. Not neutral. In fact, Samuel has also left. Words for Samuel. Again, when he gets back. Andrew, this is a weak base. What will it do to the pH?
It's gonna make it higher than
Higher than 7. pH greater than 7. So if you react a weak acid, you make its conjugate base, the resulting solution should be greater than 7. So if we're picking an indicator, what indicator should we pick?
anything less than 7.
Pardon?
Anything like less than 7.
Anything less than 7?
Shouldn't it be more?
It should be more. Because this is going to be greater than 7, we should actually be picking indicators up here. So what you're titrating will determine what kind of indicators you want. If you're doing a strong acid plus a strong base, so strong acid, strong base, all of the products are spectator ions. What kind of indicator would we want for that one?
Something
Bromothiamyl blue. Yeah, right over 7. So we want something near 7 for something like that. Once it's reacted, that would be great. We tend to use, even if it's strong acids and strong bases, phenolphthalein, even though it's not dead on 7, we can get away with it because when you have a strong acid and a strong base, if I can just borrow the bottom, a strong acid and a strong base has a pH curve like this. And this might be a pH of 3, that might be a pH of 12, and so your indicator, if that's a pH of 7, but your indicator is changing color there, that's not very much of a difference in terms of volume. Down here would be volume, this would be pH. Whereas if you're doing a weak acid or a weak base, you tend to get curves like this. They're a little bit more slanted, they'll be a little bit more shallower, and your indicator will matter a little bit more. When we were doing our titrations, we used phenolphthalein for everything. The curves are roughly in the right spot. We'll do a little bit more of that. Okay, there's some questions. What color if you add hydrogen cyanide or cyanotic acid? The chemical indicator bromothiamyl blue changes from yellow to blue as the result of the addition of, so add something that'll make it blue. And then you have 4 questions. you've discovered a fabulous new indicator. Fabulous. HFB, it's red in acidic solutions and yellow in basic solutions. The Ka is 1.0 times 10 to the minus 5 to make things easy. Write an equation to show the ionization, indicate its colors on the correct sides, calculate the pH of the transition point, give the range of the indicator with the color at either end, and what color will it be in either of these solutions. So some practice. And I'm going to put you into groups. Groups of 2. Has Samuel come back yet? No. So, Theo, go join wherever Samuel's group is. So you at least have 2 people there. And then he can join when he comes back. That would be to the task. Grab your person. Grab a pen.
Well,
Move your legs.
Taz isn't here either.
What? Theo, you're on your own until Taz and Samuel get back.
Which?
There's more pens in the container up there. I also think I maybe need to get more. Do I need to get more pens? How are they writing? Etienne, who's your Josh? Allergies or cold?
Been sick for like 5 weeks.
Oh, you have been.
I like did 2 rounds of antibiotics.
Yeah.
And they're super slow.
Oh. So it's definitely not allergies then. Go back.
Oh, it's something like I don't know, but I got my blood tested and stuff, so it's not like anything major. And, like,
You're with both of Theo.
yeah. So
Oh,
I
okay.
just like sleep when I go.
If anything comes up, you need an extension, let me know. I'm going to be asking for your Hebden in, and that sends you to a blind panel. Because I'm about to announce that.
Yeah.
Let me know, because you can have
Okay. Thank
ranges
you.
on that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we should just find the pH. We should find the pH.
Oh, I don't have a marker. Here you go. Here you go.
And then why is this water? This is
Tell me which group we're in.
But I'm looking at 2 right now.
Do you want us to do 3?
I got it in 1.
Sure.
But is 2 just like adding away? So is that adding?
Right, you can anything you want. There's a lot of possible. Yeah. They're easier than you think, is what I'll say. Actually, I shouldn't say they're easy. I had a professor that kept doing that, and I hated them. You're doing them because afterwards you go, oh, it was easier. Because everybody wrote down the equation for the first one. I was like, a lot of people are doing a lot of work for the first one. But,
I'm also getting.
but, you said no. No, but,
You said yellow?
yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. Because T minus is a beige, so it's essentially.
But you're adding HCl.
Yeah.
So don't overthink it. What is HCl? And what happens to that if you put an acid in solution?
Yeah.
Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. If you, what is HCl?
HCl is a weak acid.
Is a weak acid.
Yes.
And so what does it give off?
It gives off H2O
Plus.
plus.
What will happen to this equilibrium if you increase the amount of H2O plus?
It's gonna shift to the left.
What color will it be?
Yellow.
It was much simpler. You're just making it way more complicated. You just go, oh, that's an acid. It goes that way. And you got yellow as well. Acid. Oh, by the way, if you're putting any of these in your notes, for the last section, write an equation. I gave you a whole nother page to like copy that onto if you need to. What do you have for hold it? Did you say HIN? HIN is a generic form of indicator. Pick something like it's a real thing. 2. You also say HIN. 2.
That's correct.
Everybody on this side have this weird feeling that you copied up from each other. HIN is a weird answer. And I don't know how you got it. A base. It'd be a good answer.
Oh, we have that.
Why'd you change it? Peer pressure? What I think perhaps you did for number 2, if you wrote hidden, is that you think number 2 has something to do with question number 1. Number 2 is a separate question. You have a chemical indicator bromothymol blue. What can you add to it to make it blue? So you have to look up where does bromothymol blue change into where, and you add a base. It would shift to the yellow side because HIN is an acid, whatever it is. Oh, you're also adding HIM is another indicator, so you're actually adding another color into us. And you could list any base. You could list sodium hydroxide, carbonate, whatever you want. Oh yeah, from when we had a party. I had all the great folks out here watching the movie. Classic 80s movie. Well, you can make it. You can. I just said you can. Hold on. What house are you in? Perfect. All you have to do is just throw one in, or sabotage another house from number one. Especially like just make sure actually, Allard and Privet have a long history of cooperation to make sure LS increases.
And they don't succeed.
It shifts. It's like the same thing as always different. Two, yes.
The year that Ellis is formed, for like a decade, and then the year they lost, two Privets with one Allard.
You have to lock it.
Were coordinated, so that they would make sure that
Number two.
once you didn't call it from something new. And
Hang tight. Lock.
How's your day?
Let's just move. Oh, we need the shrimp. Okay, so.
Is your hair hurt?
oh, you guys done.
I know.
See, it feels easier than you thought.
It really wasn't. It was hard.
Oh, what?
What? Okay.
Oh, I don't know what the right answers are. So let me go.
Theo and I were Theo wrote
We're getting there. I gotta start going through. Oh yeah.
And is
It's like I feel like it's for 3 or 4 times. Bro, the coolest one is like.
Red. Check your answers. I think everybody looked. Red, yellow, 46, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow.
Yellow.
Working.
Yellow. Big Draco ball like Carmelo. Shoot a video off of Draco. We say something. This
Saturday, It just got put on the classroom, but it's not Friday. Friday's the other class. I think I announced it for both classes. I will be asking for your heptans. Hand them to me.
We don't got
Let
nothing.
me check it. No, I want to see everything you have.
What if it's nothing? Like, you're not gonna see anything either way.
I don't got a book anymore.
Then I will rip your arm off and beat you with the wet ends.
I don't got a book anymore.
Unfortunate.
I want to see any practice work you've done.
Well, that's...
Yes?
I don't got a book anymore.
When you don't have a book, you go to the school store and you buy a book.
Here's my book though.
Yeah, so that's perfect.
So I don't like.
Export the PDF. I'll have a spot on the Google Classroom that you can upload it to. That's what people do that do that. And then it's easy for me to find it. And I really like that.
Alright. I'll have to look at it though.
I want to make sure everybody's caught up. And if you're not caught up where you're at, in terms of scheduling the next test, I want to have all of the information in terms of where you are, what we're going to do. We have one more unit in acids and bases, and then we should start redox.
I don't study with the head. Like, it doesn't help me.
Then you use old exams because you kind of know the material
I
again.
use those.
Hold it. You use my notes?
Yeah.
Those aren't studying. That's learning.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Before an exam, do you do any of the old exams? Yeah. We've had this discussion. You could have 98 or 99, and the fact that you don't makes me want to stab you with the bluntest instrument I can hold.
I have a question.
Your potential is much higher.
I have other classes.
No, you don't. This is the only class you have. Again, if you don't have it, then you don't have it. That's just
Is there any
information.
chance you could like post recent notes on the classroom?
Yeah,
Like the ones from, like 90s or something?
Send me an email to remind me to do that because I updated. Oh, because all the notes are on there.
I know like notes, but like they're like not the notes that we do in class. Like they have like different like things.
Yeah, but they're the same notes. Okay, if you send me an email, I will probably do it.
Okay.
And if I don't do it and you bug me, chances go up that I do it.
That works.
'Cause I have a to-do list. Where are you going?
It's 9:35.
No, Bell hasn't gone.
It's 9.
As every teacher says, I don't dismiss you, the bell does.
Oh, look at that.
Enjoy your next class. Josh.
What?
You should at the very least do some old exam questions
On what?
on the topic we're doing. Even if
We
you're not
do,
doing it.
we always do them.
That
We
will,
do like I
just
do like
keep them.
I just don't write them
Just
down.
don't write it down.
Where do you write it down?
We don't. We just like we don't look at the question. I'll be like, all right, I think it's A. What do you think it is? Something. All right, yeah, I think it's B. Check it.
Because the purpose of this is just to me to see that you're studying. If your grades are good and you're happy with your grades, and there is nothing, they don't matter. Like honestly, it doesn't matter if you don't have anything to do. As long as you're studying.
Did
But
you
it's a way
ever,
for me
did
to
you ever
judge it.
finish marking that quiz we did a couple weeks ago?
No.
What?
Good point. Yeah.
How?
I know. I
Give
have
me my
other,
dad. Okay, I'll just do my dad.
to repeat what someone said back there, I have other classes, right?
All
But
right.
also, I feel guilty about that one. It's a small
Did you
quiz. I
literally
should've
just
had
take
it
a
done by now.
picture of it and then do the scantron?
Yeah, I just have it. I will have it done by next day, provided Etienne reminds me in the house. And this way I have someone to blame if I don't. Well done, Etienne, thank you very much.
Thank you so
Okay, I have a few questions on the lab.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
let me just turn off the recorder. Is it tutorial now? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.